Hello, welcome everyone. In my previous video, whether or not the Guardians of the Globe could have defeated Omni Man, I did get a lot of comments of people saying that they believed Omni Man was probably holding back during this fight. And I want to give my thoughts on this topic and just what I think the possibilities of this is. We do know that Omni Man power strength does seem to change depending on the scene, and this is normal for a lot of superhero shows where the superhero will essentially be stronger or weaker really depending on what the scene is needed. And this is really for narrative purposes, but I want to see if there's an in-world explanation of why Omni Man might have been holding back during this fight. We know that the Guardians of the Globe were the Earth's best defenders, but was Omni Man so overpowered to the point that he would actually have to hold back for them to be a serious threat for him? And what would his motivation be for doing this? I can really only think of one thing, and that is a good cover story. If he took a good amount of damage, he could use this as an alibi, but this is an extremely risky move. We know that he was in a coma for a few days and was close to death because of this battle. It would be extremely risky to take enough damage that you almost die and still win the fight. But why would Omni Man want to buy some time? There's really only one reason, and that's because he needs time to convince his family to get on his side. If he's going to conquer the Earth, the mask is going to come off any day, but he wanted time to try and soften the blow to Debbie and Mark that he was really there to conquer the planet. And this may be why he wanted to take damage from the Guardians of the Globe, so that he would have a cover story to give him this time. However, was it really necessary for him to take this amount of damage and essentially risk dying? I don't think so. And my reason is this: if Omni Man just covered his tracks and there was no sign that he was ever at the Guardians' headquarters, would there really be any type of justification in accusing him of killing them? Or at least any more of a justification. He is the world's strongest superhero and is already going to be the prime suspect if all the Guardians of the Globe are killed. If he is found at the scene severely wounded, or if there is no sign of him having ever been there, I don't think his alibi is any better or worse. Either way, he is the strongest superhero and the prime suspect regardless. And I don't think the alibi is really as good as someone might think. If there was just no sign of him having ever been at the battle against the Guardians, I feel like he would have had just as good of an alibi and could have essentially accomplished the same thing, giving him enough time to try and bring Debbie and Mark onto his side, and at the same time avoid the risk of dying because he did come close to death and was in a coma for a few days. So in my opinion, his motivation for holding back and purposely taking damage is a bit spotty at best. He can accomplish essentially the same thing by just not having any evidence he was ever at the fight. And either way, he can buy himself enough time to try and bring Mark and Debbie to his side. But let's review the actual fight to see if there is a sign of him holding back. So during the fight with the Guardians of the Globe, there's really only 3 points that Omni Man takes a good amount of damage. The first is when he is killing Red Rush. In that split second, Red Rush is able to get a lot of hits in, but I can't really say this is Omni Man holding back because he is trying to kill Red Rush as quickly as he can. It is just Red Rush is so quick to respond. Secondly, Martian Man is able to wrap himself around Omni Man twice. This does allow him to take some hits. However, the first time he breaks out pretty quick, and the second time he kills Martian Man fairly quickly, so I can't really say this is him holding back either. And thirdly, the Guardians do get a few sneak attacks in. But other than this, Omni Man is either blocking, dodging, or going in for the kill. I don't really see at any point that he seems to be holding back. However, he does seem to quite effectively take them out one at a time. And really the only time he doesn't take them out is when another teammate comes in for the save or he is on the defensive. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I just don't really see why Omni Man would hold back, and it doesn't appear that he is. But please give me your thoughts. Thanks a lot and have a great day.